What's happening, Big Talk Nation? Melissa and Roger Adkins coming at you from Harris, Michigan for our 9th episode of Melissa and Roger's Wildlife. We are very excited to have an opportunity to sit down and chat today with our buddy, the extremely talented Jeff Blando of our favorite band, Slaughter. Before we jump into our questions, though, we want to once again extend a huge heartfelt thank you to our friends John and Jordan for giving us this incredible opportunity and for welcoming us into the Big Talk family.
Absolutely. So we're going to begin by giving you an opportunity to introduce yourself to any of our listeners who may or may not be as familiar with your resume. So if you will, just let us know how long you've been in the music industry, specifically with Slaughter, and feel free to mention any other musical projects you're currently working on.
Man, I don't know if I can remember back that far. I'm an old gizzard. Or guzzard, or what do they call it these days? What's the proper social media word for an old timer?
Oh, I'm still old. I'm gonna say like the old word was boomer, but I don't even think that's right now.
I've been playing music as long as I can remember. I was fortunate enough that my mother, my grandfather actually was. I know you know what a Shriner is.
Yes.
Okay, my grandfather was a Shriner. He worked at the IMA Auditorium in Flint, Michigan, where I was born, and my mother worked the coat check, so she would take me to work, and I'd sit there at a coat check and watch all. Back then it was mainly country, but I grew up listening to.
I have no idea.
Like when country was country, like George Jones, Tammy Wynette, Connie Twitty, you name it, Charlie Pride, all them stuff. But I saw Chuck Berry play, and I was like, wow, now that's cool. And I was like, I want to do that one of these days. Long story short, started picking up the guitar and doing all that good crazy stuff. And then I want to say the first band was probably like 10 or 11. And the first time I played the club, I was like 12 years old. And then 15 I was playing clubs pretty much full time and crazy. And then ended up moving to Florida around 24. And then I actually got tired of being a broke musician and said, screw it, I'm going to be a production guy because I was pretty good at doing sound and whatnot. And said, I'm going to make money, open my own production company, which I did. And ended up getting a last call minute from a guy while I was doing production. And a band called Love for Dead, they were going on the tour with Warrant. And so I ended up on tour with Warrant, playing with my buddy's band, learned all these original songs, started playing. And long story short, they were getting ready to get kicked off the tour, and they lost their sound man. Remember that band Manowar?
Yeah.
The big bulky guys, no shirts on, all muscular. They're from Europe. The sound man was the Warrant was the sound man for Manowar. He had to leave the tour. So my singer goes, well, get Blando. He can run sound. He goes, your guitar player, the sound guy? Goes, yeah, that's what he does. Really? Okay, so I ran sound. Long story short, I ended up, they're like, you're running the rest of the tour, which kept the warm-up band on the tour. We ended up touring with Slaughter and Vince Neil with Warrant. And that's when I met Slaughter guys, ironically. And then Dana Strum approached me and said, I don't know what's going on out on stage, but it's not what's going on out here. You're pretty gifted. Could you mind running sound for us? I run sound for Slaughter tour. Kind of the same thing happened with Vince Neil. He was fire and monitor guys left and right. In fact, he threw a couple microphones at a few guys. And I said, hey, we know anybody run monitors. We'll get Blando. He can run monitors. Really? Okay. So now I'm playing the warm-up band, running sound for Warrant, running sound for Slaughter, and doing monitors for Vince Neil all on the same tour. Long story short, Slaughter went on a tour about a year or so after that. I said, hey, you want to go run sound for us? I did a couple of years. I want to say that was like, started at the end of 94, then 95, 96. And then, unfortunately, the accident happened with Tim Kelly, our brother, which we all miss very much. Dana came to me and said, look, we don't want to audition a bunch of guitar players like your family now. We don't want to do that. So, long story short, I joined them in 98. That's when they started playing with Slaughter. But prior to that, there was a bunch of cover bands and Cody Lee, which is actually named after my first daughter. Um, and other than that, you probably wouldn't know any of the other bands. Well, maybe Saigon Kick I played with them.
Yeah.
So you probably know them.
Yeah.
I did some things with Janie Lane as well, because he moved to Orlando and I helped him build a club there. It's called Janie Lane Sunset Strip. So I did a lot of duo things with him around town and stuff, whatever.
That's
And
awesome.
obviously, you know, with Vince Neil, I play with him too.
Yeah. Sweet. So, you've pretty much already answered this first one about how old you were when you first began playing and singing, but how long would you say it took you to really become proficient?
I still don't think I am. To be honest with you.
There's no hope for
think-
the rest of us.
I mean, playing with Slaughter as long as I have, which is coming up to 30 years plus. When you play the same song a lot, you kind of just kind of falls in. So I don't really think about, am I getting better or this or that? I don't know. It's just, I played covers all my life. That's the only way I could make a living, prior to joining Slaughter and put my own production company together. I played with cover bands where to get paid, you had, in Michigan, you had to play cover music.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs, so I think that's what kind of taught me to be very versatile and instead of being in one genre that I know we only play really one genre of music, but I was blessed enough to, be able to play all kinds of different music. Like I said, I grew up listening to country as well because I was in that environment with my mother and grandfather, so
Yeah.
I got exposed to a lot of artists at a very early age.
Okay.
Who were your greatest musical influences, and what specifically made you want to be in a band?
Well, I know this is going to sound really, really hokey and really funny. You're going to look at me and go, well, get out of here. But I was really into sports.
Oh,
Yeah.
get out of here.
I had I don't want to say roughest in childhood, but I had a stepfather that was not the nicest person in the world. Let's kind of leave it at that. And so I kind of tried to stay away from it, but I was really into sports. I played basketball religiously every day. We had this place called Engelman's Barn right across from where I lived at. And this friend of mine's father built this gymnasium out of a barn. So I would leave school, get there about 3:30 and play until I had to go to bed every day with guys twice my age playing basketball and football, baseball. They would play sport. So I didn't think I was ever going to be a guitar player. But thought I was going to play ball, to be honest with you. But I started hanging out with kids. I was in fifth and sixth grade, hanging out with all the seniors because I started to play guitar a little bit. And they're like, dude, you got to play in our band. So I would go start a band. Of course, they would graduate high school and leave. And I'd end up with a band with the next seniors and juniors and so on until I got old, enough. But yeah, I never thought that I was going to be a guitar player. Quite honestly, I thought I was going to be a sports guy.
That's cool though.
That is
I know
cool.
it's shorter thing. They're like, yeah, whatever, dude.
So, how old were you when you attended your first concert, and who did you see?
Said, I've seen so many sitting there with my mother.
Uh-huh.
It would probably be, I don't even remember what the first one was. Gotta be probably George Jones or Tammy Wynette or Glenn Campbell, one of those guys.
Okay.
My first rock wasn't an actually no well-known person. I went to a wedding reception and saw a cover band playing cover music,
Okay.
and they were really freaking good. And I was like, wow, now that's cool. What was that song? Manfred Mann's Earth Band, was it? Blinded by the light.
Oh,
And they were
yeah.
playing that, and I was like, man, now that's freaking cool. So it wasn't really per se a well-known band, but my first rock band was Robin Trower and Journey.
Okay.
Okay.
Very cool.
That was probably like around 11, maybe.
Okay.
Now, what would you say your favorite concert that you have attended, and what's one band that you wish you could have seen?
Well, I wish I could have saw Zeppelin.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I had tickets to go, and John Bonham passed like 6 days prior to that.
Oh no.
So we were a little bummed out about that.
Yeah.
What was the first? What was it?
What was your favorite concert that you've been to?
Ever.
Favorite?
Yeah.
Ever? Man, I don't know about that one. I enjoy them all. It's hard to say which one's my favorite one. I got to say, probably there's many, but I want to say the old Journey concerts when Steve Perry first got with Journey.
Okay.
Okay.
Was one of the very first ones, and it's when he just got in, like the very first Journey record he was on, and it was those guys were really killer, and I was memorizing how good they were.
Yeah.
Neil Sean was just on fire after Steve Perry's vocals back then, and
Yeah.
the whole band was just great.
Awesome.
Mm.
So, who would you say your greatest supporter was when you first stepped out into the world of entertainment?
That one's very easy. My mother.
Mom.
Her favorite song, believe it or not, was "Whole Lotta Rosie" by AC/DC.
Really?
Play, come on, Jeff, play "Whole Lotta Rosie." Stop messing around.
I love it. That's great.
What's the best and worst part about life on the road as an entertainer?
Then or now?
Collectively, over
Collectively?
your career, what has been the best and worst
Well,
part?
collectively, I'd have to go with now because collectively, we do it so much now. Now it's traveling to flying.
It's the worst part.
Yeah, the old
Yeah.
days we traveled in buses. I didn't mind at all. Because you play, you're in the theaters, amphitheaters, whatever you call it, sheds, auditoriums, whatever. Then you're in the same venue. Great food, great catering. Everyone's together. Everyone's a family. Whether there's one band or five bands on the bill, everyone's together there. Gets along. It's kind of a big family on a big tour, almost like a giant, a large circus on tour.
Uh-huh.
Everyone gets along. Nowadays, those days are kind of somewhat over for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's all fly dates, and everyone knows since COVID, flying's not the most pleasurable experience these days. Flights are canceled left and right. Like, matter of fact, we're driving 9 hours as soon as we get done playing to get to a different city to fly out through the snow to even try to even get home. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say the woes and the boos for me now are just the traveling because especially you get start getting up there in age, you know, sleep's very important for you, and you don't sleep and rest, your body doesn't have a chance to recuperate and regenerate cells and whatever you want to call it. So you get pretty beat up.
Yeah, for sure. So, what's the key to allowing your musical influences to shine through in your craft while simultaneously ensuring that you develop your own unique sound?
It's pretty easy for me because, like I said, I grew up in cover bands, so I've played so many different styles of so many different musicians.
Mm-hmm.
We played all the Van Halen. I was a huge, being from Flint, Michigan, I grew up a big Ted Nugent fan. Obviously, a Zeppelin fan, which Jimmy Page and Ted Nugent are nothing alike.
Mm-hmm.
So I played a very wide spectrum of influences. So I just try to take little pieces of little things I like about each person and kind of make it my own. Even in the Slaughter stuff, I play everything, pretty close to the records.
Yeah.
But there's some things here maybe way up in a note or pinch a note or whatever. I kind of throw my own thing in there, which sometimes may be good, sometimes maybe not so good. But
Well, we enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, your own influence and everything, and you're talking about how you go and throw in just a little bit of customization. What's your favorite song to play live and why?
with Slaughter or overall?
Overall.
Overall,
Or with Slaughter, whichever one you want.
like I said, it's hard to pinpoint any certain song down, but because we don't play it a lot, so it's always fresh when we do play it. Is what's my song, Jordan? Huh?
I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. Unknown Destinations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't play it a lot,
Yeah.
and it's a really up tempo driving song. So, I think because we don't get to play it, that it's one that kind of sticks out. And oh yeah, we get to play that tonight, so I get excited to play it.
That's awesome.
But I enjoy all the songs. cover songs. I grew up like I said, New Giant played at my sleeve, the Zeppelin, the White Snake, all the Dio stuff. I like all that old
Yeah.
stuff, classic stuff. So
Good deal. So, in any group you've been affiliated with, have there ever been any songs that you played for an audience and the reaction wasn't quite what you anticipated it was going to be? Like either it was a much bigger hit than you thought it would be, or maybe it received like an underwhelming response to something you really loved performing.
mm, I would say Wood Slaughter, we get a pretty big response, in the middle and we do Flight of the Angels in the middle thing.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Where everybody light up the room, whether it's a shed, a club, a bar, or a mitzvah, whatever you want to call it. Everyone's very into it. They're into the moment, so to say, and everyone gives it their all, and they grab their phones out and they light it up and make it very special, for us and for the whole place we're playing. I think.
Yeah,
So that's pretty cool.
absolutely.
Do you have any routines or like tips or secrets of the trade that keep you at the top of your game? Like anything that you swear by? Like, do you have like a pair
I
of?
won't be a butthead.
I was gonna say, do you have like a pair of lucky socks or?
No. For the last 5 years, I've probably done the wrong thing, and I used to tip a little bit of the booze to kind of try to get in the thing was probably the wrong thing to do. In the old days, I would, kind of pull a Jordan and sit-ups, push-ups, maybe go for a run, or you know, do some stretches, and do what I should have kept on doing. But life has its ups and its downs, I guess.
There you go.
It's all about learning.
Yeah.
What is the secret to becoming fully comfortable and confident in front of an audience?
I really don't think that I've ever figured that out, to be quite honest with you. I don't say I get nervous, but like I said, I'm not one of those guys. I think I'm pretty humble. I just go out there and just do what I do and have some good ones, hopefully, and have some great ones, and sometimes maybe have some bad ones. I don't think that, I don't really look at it like that. Kind of like I just go up there and have a good time and try to make the best of it.
Sure.
Have you played any locations or venues that particularly stood out to you and became a favorite, or do they all more or less run together into a blur?
For the most part, they kind of run together in a blur, especially for myself. In this group, see that? Um, we all wear many hats in the band.
Mhm.
Myself, doing the monitors and background and stuff like that, and playing
Yeah.
guitar, and Dana, doing flights and tour managing and playing bass, and Jordan doing video. We all wear many hats, so
Sure.
um, it's kind of hard to pinpoint that one, but if that makes any sense.
No, absolutely. Yeah. We kind of expect that to be the answer, but sometimes somebody does have a favorite, like Brett said, the hard rock. He really liked
Yeah.
the hard rock
Well,
locations.
I would say it's weird. I used to like playing all the old House of Blueses back in the
Yeah.
day.
Mhm.
They were fun, and the Hard Rocks as well. But it seems like those venues, at least the House of Blues, kind of vanished, went away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Mohegan Sun's always a good one,
Mhm.
whether it's the Wolf Den or if it's the arena. It always seems like a good turnout there. So those are
Oh, yeah.
always special.
Yeah.
Then obviously, anytime you play your hometown, which hometown for Michigan, anywhere near Flint, Michigan, always a good turnout. I lived in Vegas for a long time and played in Vegas. It's always, big crowd.
Mhm.
And then obviously, Orlando, Florida. When I played around Florida, it's always, so I have like 3 hometowns.
Yeah.
Those
Gotcha.
are special.
Very
Chaos, but special.
Very cool. What would you say are the most crucial components that go into a song that elicit an emotional response that's felt rather than something that's just simply heard?
By me or the crowd?
Like, what do you think is the most important piece.
Yeah.
That
What do you
makes
think
them
is the
proud, I guess,
goal of
feel
it?
something.
I think the chorus, obviously the chorus
Okay.
of the song, the chorus is if it really jumps out and gets people, makes them remember, their childhood growing up, and it makes them remember a special moment in their life that they get excited about after hearing the song, whether they've heard it once or 100 times. It
Uh-huh.
always brings it back to that moment. I think that's what really helps it all for people.
Gotcha.
Did you ever become discouraged as an artist due to certain trends or aspects in the entertainment industry? And if so, what made you push through and continue playing?
What was the last one?
What made you push through and continue?
I think probably heard this before, especially the 80s bands. I think when the grunge thing hit,
Mhm.
and I love it. I love grunge. I love Alice in Chains. I love Soundgarden. I wasn't a big Pearl Jam at first favorite guy, but I came to respect them later on
Uh-huh.
more so than I did at first. I wasn't a big fan of them, but I loved all that stuff. So
But yeah, it certainly was
Yeah.
something to switch things up for you guys. Yeah.
yeah, I think it kind of, it's like spraying bug killer in the woods. The bugs scatter.
Yeah.
Nothing comes out anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those deals. So.
It was definitely a hard turnaround on what was going on.
Absolutely.
But I think now that stuff's kind of messy. You go out with new music, you hear a little bit of the grunge.
Oh, yeah,
with
yeah.
80s and rock. I mean, same thing. You hear country.
Oh yeah.
Like you're hearing country now. It's rapping country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or it's rocking country. All those new country that comes out now. Rock guys could make it rock, so now we're playing country.
We used to have guitar solos. Now we have like a rap verse.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the reason music has the ability to unify such a diverse group of people while most other aspects of life tend to cause divide?
I think because of the grunge thing, a lot of the 80s bands stopped recording.
Uh-huh.
So I think they were like Slaughter, last record we put out. Last record I did with them in 1998.
Uh-huh.
Put out a record and it's 2026. I think it's hard to stay in the field and stay in that. But you're just status quo. If you're not doing it. So, everyone kind of does it on their own at home, but we don't collaborate together and do something. That's a group at this point. Talked about it 80 million times.
On the way out.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say your biggest obstacle is that you faced over the course of your career, and how did you biggest obstacle that you faced over the course of your career, and how did you overcome it?
I think you guys know that one.
Enough said.
Gotcha.
We'll move on.
Yeah. Because and that honestly, that's pretty much that's been a 5-year plus thing.
Yeah.
So we won't put a title on that.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll move on from that. So this might seem like an odd question, but it has made some pretty funny stories in our previous interviews. Have you ever been injured on stage?
Andrew?
Injured.
I don't know if you guys were there. Were you in Canada show? With my leg?
So, were you talking about the Niagara Falls show, or were you talking about Moncton, or was it before that? So those were the only two we've caught.
We were at a show in Canada. I can't remember the name. So, casino with a very, very low ceiling. We're talking like some spots were 8 feet, 10 feet tops.
Uh-huh.
We're in the dressing room. And everyone gets in the dressing room, we all get together, kind of warm up or chit chat, have a drink, just kind of get prepped to go on stage. And I actually thought I heard the intro playing. I go, guys, that's the intro. Like, no, it's not ready. It's not the intro. Go, well, yeah, it is the intro. Go, shit. So we go running out there to go on stage. It was a Great White Slaughter show.
Uh-huh.
And we go to walk up there, and it's pretty dark in there. Like I said, the ceiling's very low.
Uh-huh.
Well, I come running up, and Pat wasn't around, so I just grab the guitar and I go around to my back to my side of the stage from behind to get the other side of the stage. It was very dark. I didn't know if someone had moved the Great White drum riser slightly. And And I hit the drum riser with my leg very hard, almost fell off the left side of the stage, pushed myself over. Long story short, it literally brought tears to my eyes. I damaged my leg. I played the whole set, which I don't know how I did it. I got off. The EMTs were already in the dressing room. Went, hey, are you okay? Well, I said, it hurts like hell.
I don't want that guy selling it.
He goes, let me take your pants off. You see, as soon as I pulled my pants off, because I had tight pants on, the legs just started bubbling up. It hurt. See, even sit down. Long story short, the whole leg was just completely red and purple from top of mid calf all the way up to my buttocks. Completely bruised. It still gives me the G's today. That definitely did something. I don't know what. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, absolutely. What was your proudest moment as an artist?
So I said, well, Jerry, I hate to make you suffer so badly. He goes, you put an old guy like me at the Lowe's.
I don't think I've had that one yet.
I didn't.
So wait,
Okay, fair enough.
that makes sense. But you know, the guys sort of bringing me into the band.
He knows he's at the Lowe's.
Was a
And
big
then when I
deal.
did it, I called because
Especially they didn't want to, you know,
listen, Mr. Blau.
go into the auditioning mode and select, you know, the best guy they know, this and that. The guys felt it.
I only need them.
We got along together. We felt like family already from working together so long. They just avoided that. And the other one was obviously Vince Neil called me up and said, hey, I want you to put my solo band together. And obviously that's when I put Dana and I together with Will Hunt at that time. So those are two cool things that, you know,
I said, I'll take 2 doubles.
well, when we're out of Flint, Michigan, playing cover music, so it's kind of cool.
For sure. What advice or recommendations do you have for aspiring artists attempting to make it in the industry today, particularly those who are unsure of the best way to get started or put themselves out there?
I would say just stick to what you love and stick to what you want to do.
Yeah,
And
take the Lowe's.
try to listen to the people that you notice are, you seem that they're doing it the right way, then have a good attitude and keep a good attitude always and
I'll bet that was fun with you.
stay humble and
It took me
practice, right. Keep
Yeah.
writing.
Absolutely.
4.5 hours.
So what elements would you say are key to a lasting, successful musical career?
Once again, staying humble. Stay off the drugs. Don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Don't drink.
Here's
Don't get married. No, I'm
torture,
kidding.
torture keeping in a 3rd-rate hotel.
And what is one main impression you would like to leave your fans with and hope will always be part of your musical legacy?
Right away. Now,
Stay true to what you like, whether you're a fan or a musician. Just stay honest with what
people that are waiting for
makes you
a little
happy.
bit.
Don't follow trends for other people.
Look,
That
let's order it in
if you don't really like it, because they like it, stay
sit at a regular
to
table.
yourself
All
and
that
stay
stuff.
honest to what you
You don't
like.
have to. I'm just throwing it out there.
It's a good throw out there.
And that way you can still run by your room and everything.
So look, I ordered.
I'm not really sure that it's fair to ask you this one, given the fact that we've already interviewed Mark and Jordan, and they seem to be in agreement on the matter. Joker or prankster of the bunch is
Us or other fans.
of you guys.
Probably my dumb ass.
That's
They're in agreement with that. Well, I think since things are getting a little bit squirrely around here and you guys are getting ready to get started here in a bit, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. But before we let you go, do you have any additional fun facts or stories you'd like to share? And if not, do you have any recommendations for us concerning additions we must include on our concert bucket list?
Which concerts are you talking about?
Yeah, like do you
have a band?
do you have yeah.
Oh, and then they got little brown and black granules in there.
Man, I love all the bands. So it's hard for me to speak for you guys.
That was a time delay.
I have to think about that.
So,
Oh,
Okay.
We'll have to
it had
answer
to
that.
hit you like a fucking.
Yeah, get back to us on that. Okay, perfect.
awesome. Thank you so much for taking your time with us to sit down and talk to me. We really do appreciate it. And everyone, be sure to check out slaughterusa.com/tour for all the locations you can catch these guys in 2026. And if you happen to be in the Harris, Michigan area tonight, brave the snow and come on out to the Island Resort and Casino. Festivities begin at 7. I promise this is a show that you do not want to miss.
And thank you, as always, to our listeners tuning in today for this episode of Melissa and Rogers Wildlife. We hope you'll join us again soon. Be safe out there and remember to be excellent to each other. Much love to you all. See you next time.